You will agree with me that if you want a good relationship for a long-term purpose, there are steps and processes you need to follow in order to have that best person with whom you will actually want to spend the rest of your life. It is the same thing that applies to the importation business. If you want to be successful in this business, you want to start the importation business this year, but you don't know how to go about it. Don't worry, don't bother yourself, and please don't stress, because in this video we are going to explain you all the steps you need to know in order to be a successful businessman by the end of the year. And to make you understand these processes very well, we are going to relate it to a love relationship process, how it starts and how it ends, for you to understand all the secrets that are hidden behind the importation business in 2025. You will agree with me that if you want a good relationship for a long-term purpose, there are steps and processes you need to follow in order to have that best person with whom you will actually want to spend the rest of your life. It is the same thing that applies to the importation business. If you want to be successful in this business, there are processes and steps you need to make sure you follow them carefully and respect them one after the other, because if you do this, at the end of the day you will be a very successful business person because of importation. So guys, if it's your first time on our channel, please don't hesitate to subscribe and activate the notification button, so that next time we are dropping a video, you will be the very first person to be aware of. Because this year, by fire by force, we have to make it, you have to make it, and everyone has to make it. It's a call action. So join the success van so that we can work together, and at the end of the day grow together and achieve more. Let's go. Just like last year, I am very convinced you started this year by taking New Year resolution, among which your objective is to make money and be happy. I actually want to convince you that you can actually make this money by starting a business this year, actually an importation business. I have been working with a shipping company, in fact, one of the best in Africa, over the past 4 years today, and based on what I have seen and the experience I have gained, that is why I decided to make this video this beginning of year, in order to guide you on how you can actually go through the importation business and come out as a very successful business person. So guys, join us on our success vessel so that we can be more disciplined, more motivated, because our objectives is for us to grow together and achieve more. So if you want to succeed by the end of this year, being it in any business of your choice, you can either watch each of our videos that we post every Tuesday about importation, business and logistics, or you can watch our videos that we post on Fridays about motivations and discipline tips. So make sure you watch this video till the end, and please don't forget to subscribe and activate the notification button, so that next time we share another related video on this topic, you will be the first person to be aware. So guys, the first step involved in the importation business is you need to identify the product you want to sell. That is, what type of product do you want to sell? And if we are to relate this to a love relationship, you will agree with me that when you want to involve yourself in a serious relationship, the first thing you do is to identify the type of person with whom you want to be in the relationship, being it a lady or a man. What do you want to sell? You have to make research on those products that have a very high demand in the market with a very low supply. Try to identify those products, and also make sure those products are products which, once you import them, you are going to have a very high profit margin. This is the first thing you have to do. Don't go for products that can be seen anywhere or by the road corner. If you want to join the importation business, please don't import products like biscuits, sweets, or any other things that can be seen in the nearest store. Please don't do that. Don't do that. We don't advise you to do that. As I earlier mentioned, go for those products that have what? A high demand and a low supply, which you know that once you import it, you will not hold the stock for long. This is the same thing that applies to love relationship. When you are a man and you want to go in for a serious, healthy, and long-term relationship, you will not go for street girls. That is, girls that can be easily gotten anyhow, anywhere, and by everybody. You will actually go for those ones who know what they want and actually know where they are going, who have values. Those are the type of girls you will look for. And the same thing applies to women. So when we come now to the business part, it is the same thing you actually have to do. You cannot be talking about an importation business that you actually want to start the importation business and you start importing things like biscuits, sweets, and other things that can be gotten in the nearby shop or at the nearby corner. Go for those things that have what? A high demand but a low supply, because if you do that, you will make out the difference. So the same way identifying the right product is a big step for you when you want to start the importation process, is the same way identifying the type of person you want to be in a serious relationship with is also a big step when you are looking for that right partner. After you have identified the type of product you want to sell, the next step is, where can you get that product? And if you want to relate it to a love relationship, after you have actually identified the type of girl or the type of man you want into your life, the next thing you will ask yourself is, where can I have that person? Right? Now let's go back to business. Once you have identified the type of product you want to deal in, the next thing for you to do is to actually find out where you can get this product. Once you know where you can get the product, you need to identify those suppliers who can supply you this product. And depending on the type of products, you can try to search on different locations. There are some products that you can easily get from China. There are some products that you can easily get from Dubai. There are some products that you can easily get from India, from Turkey, from Thailand, from Japan. Depending on the product, you have to identify where you can easily get the product, and also the supplier from whom you can get the product. Coming now to the level of the supplier, an advice I will give you is that please don't limit yourself only to one supplier. If you can be in contact with 3 to 5 suppliers, then it will be a very good thing for your business. Why do I say so? If you are in contact with 3 to 5 suppliers, it will be very good for your business, because this will give you that possibility to be able to compare their prices, their quality, and also their MOQ, that is the minimum order per quantity. So make sure you have a good number of suppliers, because it's going to give you these advantages I just stated. If you limit yourself only to one supplier, it's very bad, because you will not have what? That possibility to be able to compare the price that supplier gave you with other suppliers to see if you are making a good deal or not. When you are in contact with different suppliers, you will come to realize that these suppliers don't have the same prices in most cases. And this can simply be due to the fact that some suppliers are manufacturers while other suppliers are simply distributors. If you are in contact with a supplier that is a manufacturer, in most cases you will have favorable prices as compared to a supplier that is just a distributor. That was at the level of comparing prices. Now, at the level of quality, you will also see that most of the time these suppliers might not have the same quality of product, and quality can also play an important role in determining the price at which they are going to sell their products to you. And under the MOQ, which is the minimum order per quantity, you will notice that among these suppliers with whom you might be in contact, some of them will give you the possibility to buy 1 piece, 2 piece, 5 piece, 10 piece, and others will not give you that possibility. Other suppliers simply sell in bulk. If you don't take 1,000 pieces, they don't make business with you. If you don't take 2,000, 10,000, 20,000 pieces, they don't make business with you. So make sure you have about 3 to 5 suppliers that can supply you the product you are looking for. And once that is done, you try to compare them with these different points I gave you, being it the price, the quality, and the MOQ. If you succeed to do that, at the end of the day, you will actually be able to do the best decision in placing your order to the right person for the right price and the right quantity. Having at least 3 to 5 suppliers is good for business, but please, for this case of love relationship, let's make an exception, okay? I know I said we shall relate this importation process to the love relationship, but please, when it comes to love relationship, have just a single number, which is the number of your girl or your man, okay? I know all of you watching this video are good men and good women. So if you know you are a good man and you are a good woman, drop in the comment section, I'm a good man, I'm a good woman, okay? So how can you get in contact with your suppliers? There are two main ways through which you can get in contact with suppliers. The first one, I will name it recommendation. That is, if you know someone that is already into the importation business, you can go closer to this person and discuss with the person for this person to put you in contact with a supplier, because we have a lot of people that are already into the importation business who are in contact with different suppliers. So you just have to get closer to them, discuss with them, and you both agree on how he can do to link you with a supplier. And I will tell you that in most cases, they will link you to reliable suppliers because they have been into the business for a good period of time. And the second way through which you can get in contact with suppliers is through online apps that are used for importation. But now, when you use these apps, you have to be very careful because on these apps, not everybody is there to make business. Some good people with good morals are there to make business, to help you grow, and some bad people with bad impression and bad morals are there to make you fall. And when I'm talking about these people, I'm talking to those who are fond of scamming people on these apps. Please, guys, you people should pity us, please. Okay, we are out to make business and to grow. So now, in order for this video not to be too long, we are going to limit ourselves to this level. But I promise you, I will make another video where I will go into details in these different importation apps to tell you how you can actually find a reliable supplier on these apps in order for you not to be scammed. So make sure you subscribe to our channel and activate the notification button if you want to be aware when this video comes out. Now, under recommendation, a lot of people are in good relationship today simply because they were being recommended. When I say they were being recommended, what am I referring to? You yourself, I myself, we all know that we have people who came to us and said, Omo, like our Nigerian brothers usually say, Omo, guy, put me in contact with this girl. That your friend is good, oh please, how can I do to be in contact with her? We have people who have been in relationship due to this way and they ended up well getting married, having kids, and spending the rest of their life together through recommendation. And that is the same way with suppliers. If you know someone that can link you with a good supplier, don't hesitate, go to that person, discuss with him, and you push you agree on the terms. And then now when it comes now to online apps which are used for placing orders, the same thing also applies to relationship where we have online apps that are used for dating. Okay, the same way a lot of people have been scammed on dating apps is the same way a lot of people have also been scammed on apps that are used to place orders online. So please be wise, okay? Be wise. And as I said, we are going to do a video where we shall tell you how to identify reliable suppliers and which are the best apps you can use for importation. Let's look at the third point. The third step you have to consider is the shipping cost. After you have identified the product you want to sell, located the country where you want to import from and the supplier from whom you want to import from, the next factor which is very important that you have to pay attention to is the shipping cost. And this is something you have to be very careful and attentive at, because if you are not careful at this stage, you will receive one of the biggest shock of your life. I want you to know that shipping companies are going to charge you for transporting and clearing your goods on your behalf, depending on the mode of transport you choose for your goods to be sent through. Shipping cost is very important because it is one of the factors that will help determine at how much your product will be sold in the market where you intend to sell it after you have received the product. There are two ways through which the shipping cost can be calculated. And if you want to know how you can actually do to calculate your shipping cost to avoid to be shocked, make sure you check our previous video or one of our previous video where we show you how you can actually do to calculate the shipping cost of your goods, especially when they are sent by sea. Now, when goods are being sent from where you order, being it China, India, Turkey, or Dubai, or any other country, they can either be sent by air or by sea. If you want your goods to be sent by air, what they will consider to charge you will be the weight of the good, and sometimes they also look at the volume, but they mostly focus on the weight. If you want your goods to be sent by sea, what you usually look at in this case is the volume of the goods, and sometimes they might look at the weight depending on the type of goods. Now, I want you to know that by air, the higher the weight of your goods, the higher the amount you will pay. The lower the weight of your goods, the lower will be the amount you will pay. And the same thing also applies to goods that are being sent by sea. If the volume of your good or if the size of your good is high, the shipping cost you will pay will also be high. But if it happens that the size or the volume of your good is low, the shipping cost you will pay for your goods will also be low. So before you actually decide on which mode of transport you will use to ship your goods, please make sure you consider these factors I just mentioned and you take it very serious, because if you don't take it very serious, you will receive one of the greatest shock of your life just because of this importation business. Please don't be afraid, okay? Don't be afraid. I'm not saying this to scare you, but I'm just saying this to you, or I'm just telling you this for you to be more attentive to this when importing. Let me take an example. When you're into importation business, you can buy a product for 100 francs, okay? Purchase price, it's an example. If you buy a product for 100 francs and then when it reaches and you have to pay a shipping fee of 10,000 francs, how will you feel? It will be so hurting, right? In order for you to avoid it, when you buy a product, try to compare air and see which one is favorable, okay? And we also explain this in one of our videos that tells you the factors you have to consider before choosing a mode of transport. Make sure you also check it. The same way shipping cost plays an important role into the importation business is the same way in which transportation costs also plays an important role in various relationships. I will not go further. If you have something to tell us, please, I would like to read you in the comment section. Guys, please, before looking at the footstep or the foot process, I want us to first recall the point we first looked earlier. When you want to start an importation business, the first thing you actually do is to identify what you want to sell. After that, you identify where you will get it and from who you will get it. The third thing you need to do is to identify how much it will cost you to make that product leave the point of origin, that is the supplier, to the point of destination, which is your location. And then now we go now to the fourth point, which is place an order for samples first. Place an order for sample first. Place an order for samples first. If you meet a woman today or if you meet a man today, you will agree with me that the next day you will not immediately go to get married to her, right? Why will you not get married to her the next day immediately? Simply because both of you people will need some time in order for you to know each other better and actually go in for marriage. So first of all, order for samples. Once you receive these samples, try it into the market and try to get feedbacks from those who purchased it. If the feedbacks are positive and that you succeed in selling the product fast, place a second order of a higher quantity. Let me take an example. If for the first order you ordered maybe 10 pieces, for the second order you can order 20 or 30 pieces. And if you succeed to sell all these within a short period of time and you still receive good feedback, at this point in time now, you can place an order even of 100 piece, because at least you have tried the market once, twice, and you have gotten positive result. So guys, please, after you have identified what you want to buy, where you want to get it, and from who you want to get it, how much is going to cost you, to make the product reach to your point of destination or your location, make sure you first of all take samples to try the product in the market. Once you have a positive result and positive feedback, go in for more and repeat the process again and again. As other businesses, guys, please start small, because if you don't start small, you will learn through the hard way. You will agree with me that you cannot start a business and then inject a lot of money into the business, especially if you have not tried it. So when you want to import, you first of all have to do what? To bring in samples. You try this in the market, and if you obtain a positive result, then you go into the business and place orders for a reasonable quantity. Let's check the last point. So finally, the fifth point or the last step that we are going to discuss today, it's simply for you to create a funnel or a group or a community where you are going to sell these products easily and rapidly when they reach at your destination. Why is it important to create your community or a group? By creating your community or a group, once you have placed the order, you can communicate in this group to inform the people already of what you have ordered and the estimated date when the product can be available. This will make most of the people who need the product to contact you in advance, and once the goods reaches, it's going to sell fast. And if you succeed in selling fast, it means your stock is going to also finish faster, and this will push you to place another order, and the routine will go on again and again. You can also go further to sell your product on Facebook by running ads, or on Instagram by running ads. These are going to enable you sell your product faster, because an advantage Facebook ads have, or an advantage a website may have, is that you will still continue getting orders even when you are asleep. So in a nutshell, when you want to get into the importation business, start by identifying what you want. Second, you need to identify where you can get it and from who you can get it. The third step, how much is it going to cost you to make it reach your point of destination? The fourth step, do not import a large quantity for your first importation. First, take what? A small quantity that we call samples to try in the market, and if you have positive result, you now place an order for a reasonable quantity. And finally, the last step, you need to make sure you have your community or other means through which you can rapidly sell your product and make money. These are the 5 steps that you have to follow if you want to be successful in the importation business in 2025. And you will agree with me that it was not difficult, right? So guys, I decided to leave the last point for you. So make sure you drop a comment in the comment section and tell us how this last point can be related to a love relationship, because by fire by force we need to succeed in 2025. It's a call action. So if you can actually do all what I stated in running after a girl or a woman because you love her and you want her, it means if you want to make money, you can also run after these processes to import and make money. So guys, it was a pleasure sharing all this with you. Please don't forget to subscribe to our channel and activate the notification button so that you will be the very first person to be informed when we post the next video. Please don't forget our posting date: Tuesdays and Fridays. Tuesdays, business videos, importation videos, logistic or supply chain videos, and then Fridays, motivational, self-discipline, and any other video that will make us have confidence in ourselves and boost us towards success is what we will suggest to you on Fridays. It was a pleasure. Tendons and please together, let's grow and achieve more. Thank you.